Craigieburn versus Essendon Doutta Stars. Dave Kennedy, welcome to the broadcast for the first time today.
Superb to be here, as always, Teo.
And Adam Sarakoglu, take it away. That siren gets us started.
Umpire Michael Pell with the first ball up of the game, and it's the Essendon Doutta Stars that will get the first clearance up towards right half forward. Allard's kick went looking for Blair Cronin, the former Glenroy man. It goes out of bounds and will have a throw-in out of sight at DS Aiken Reserve.
So boundary throw-in. Doutta Stars kicking to, I guess, what you'd call the eastern end of the ground, or maybe the Hume Highway end of the ground. They've won themselves a free kick from this stoppage already, and they look inside 50. So the kick in the end does go inside their attacking 50. No one able to take the mark at ground level. Craigieburn have numbers. They pounce on the footy. Good tackle in the end coming there from Buttigieg, and it's a ball up. How do I say that one, Adrian Jamieson? Buttigieg.
Yeah, Maltese, not Italian, so you should have no problems, Adrian.
And a quick snap from that man, Luke Buttigieg, and it is good. The goal umpire is going to signal a goal. And 1 minute into the first quarter, it is Essendon Doutta Stars that go bang. Luke Buttigieg, who kicked 6 against East Keilor 2 weeks ago, gets goal number 7 for the year already.
Now, Jambo, he was a Marby Park Premiership player up in Premier a number of years ago, currently leading Essendon for Division 1 behind Beckham Mehmedi on the goal-kicking table, obviously making a flying start to the year.
Yeah, starting well, and big Jake Brown down there as well. They've put Kyton Ronaldson down there. They could be a force.
Back in the middle of the ground, good contest provided there by Stewart, and Craigieburn attempt to knock it forward, but Smith wins the clearance for the Stars, and they move it forward once again. It's already being played in their front half, and once again they go inside 50. This time it comes off hands. Buttigieg almost again. Little one over the top. Doutta Stars have numbers. They line up for the footy. In the end it comes to Lil, round the corner, kicks another goal, and the Stars have 2 in the opening 2 minutes.
Well, not what anyone from a neutral point of view wanted to see, Adrian Jamieson. I was a little bit worried that Essendon Doutta Stars might have a bit of a stronger team on paper, and that was before Craigieburn had the 2 significant outs of Hamilton and also Fletcher, and basically they've caught Craigieburn cold. Yes, they've started well, running the ball. That's something that they've worked on with their on-ballers. Shiloh Smith in there getting involved, so yeah, it's a good start from the Stars. Let's hope Craigieburn can get one back now.
2.5 minutes in, and we're already 2 goals to zip here at DS Aiken Reserve. Umpire throws it up back in the middle. Page this time will win it down for the Eagles. A Star went down behind play. It's still, though, an Essendon Doutta Stars ball as Skiberas went in board by hand. A chain of handballs, and Lil, he just kicked it into a Craigieburn play, though it came off hands, and Skiberas, another Glenroy product, goes up towards half forward with the soccer off the ground. It's going to be picked up here by Shiloh Smith, who gets the hand pass out. Douttas will keep the ball for now. A kick in towards the corridor, and Craigieburn were able to get numbers back there. One of them, Davies.
And Davies goes in board. Dangerous kick, though. Puts his defensive players under pressure. Craigieburn good enough to win the clearance in the end. Up towards Jason Cloak. He's caught behind, though. Managed to do well to get to the front position in the end, and then Gordon put it inside 50. Here's Cameron Cloak. He gathered the loose footy. Shot on goal from him. Misses to the right-hand side. So Craigieburn go inside 50 for the first time today, and they produce a score already. The ball to be brought back in. I'm not sure that 73 is Lil, boys. I did call it that way, but not listed on the team sheet today.
Jambo, can you help us out with that one?
Yep, I'll get onto that.
Ball to be brought back in by Javazi. And he'll go short for now. That kick is a nice safe one for Allard, and he can keep on running. We're now on the broadcast side here at DS Aiken Reserve, and Page had the ball bounce off his shoulder, tried to maybe clean up Skiberas in the process, ended up winning the ball to Douta's man. Hand pass went in board, and now Cronin in the middle of DS Aiken Reserve out to Jed Clothier. He played a role in Essendon Doutta Stars going down in the first place in round 18 last year. We're now at the top of the square for Essendon Doutta Stars. Naboo may have just pushed someone in the back. In the meantime, a goal. No, it's come off a shin. And it is going to be judged a point. A rush behind in the end for Essendon Doutta Stars. 2-1-13. Plays 1 behind, 4.5 minutes in.
And the way they're moving the ball into it, you can see that even though there's been a bit of rain in the last 24 hours, this is a good track at DS Aitken, and they've got no problems moving across the ground.
Sean Stewart with a long kick towards Page. He didn't quite get a fly at it. Jarevsky was there. He couldn't quite claim the mark, and now they all pounce on the ball. About 60 out from the defensive goals of Craigieburn, and a ball up is the result. We've played just under 5 minutes in the first term here at DS Aitken as Page won that tap down, and Davies onto the loose footy, tries to link up by hands, intercepted. Ramsey puts it up to the top of the square. No mark taken there from Big Brown, but what can they manage at ground level? Onto the loose footy is Buttigieg, who's been busy early. Spills out, Prestia, runs to 45, kicks on goal. It goes right across the face and misses to the left-hand side. So the Stars are peppering early. We've played 5.5 minutes and it's already 2-2-14 to 1 behind.
5-1 inside 50s already, so Craigieburn need to get their matchups right and get some attack going.
Eagles ball broadcast side in front of the clubhouse here. Mark is taken by Cox and he'll look to go straight down the line. Kicked it into the man on the mark. So it's been a really poor start by Craigieburn so far. Only the one inside 50. Might be number 2 coming up. Here's Jason Cloak. Good hit. He takes the mark and he's going to look perhaps for his brother. Here's Cam. 1-on-1 just outside the square. Went up. Didn't bring the ball down. But at the fall and getting a very quick shot on goal was Matt Thomas. And Craigieburn are on the board after 6 minutes.
Well, it's a relief. Last thing we wanted was Doutta Stars walking the ball in like a procession, which they did with the 2 first centre clearances. Second inside 50, they've hit the scoreboard both times. That is a good sign. And at the moment, the Cloaks playing a key role in being forward targets that Craigieburn can aim for when they move the ball end to end.
They went inside 50 towards Cameron. I thought Charles Lill did a pretty good job there on him to ensure that he didn't take an offensive mark inside their attacking 50, but in the end it was the runners of Craigieburn that get the job done. So 1-1-7 plays 2-2-14, 6.5 minutes gone as the ball's balled back up in the middle of the ground, and Shiloh Smith is going to get a free kick after he was infringed.
Mad hair on Shiloh.
It's an incredible haircut. I was waiting for someone to bring it up. But
it's on off the ball as well. We've got Keenan here getting into a bit of a to-do with Scaveris, who is no stranger to the rough stuff.
Smith goes up towards the attacking 50
They are off in their own world right now, these two.
And Craigieburn have defensive numbers. They clear it only as far as Smith. Couldn't quite take the mark. Big fend off there came from Young. Was good in the end. Got it up towards half forward.
Still going, and seriously, cheapies being thrown, and I think the umpire is finally coming over to tell them to break it up.
Meantime, there was no mark taken by Lafan, and a ball up just forward of centre-half forward for Craigieburn, who are pressing forward at this stage.
Oh, it's almost like they were determined to give away an off-the-ball free kick, and yet somehow they've both emerged, and finally their focus is back on the footy. But no love lost between those two. Keep an eye on Keenan and Scaveris for the rest of the day.
1-1-7 Craigieburn, Essendon Doutta Stars, exactly double, 2-2-14, and it looks like we'll have another stoppage inside the centre square. 8 minutes have ticked by. DS Aitken Reserve. Anzac Day football on 98.9 Northwest FM as play restarts now. Page, who is a very towering unit out on this ground at the moment. He's got the height advantage over Barnes, the Essendon Doutta Stars ruckman. Inside 50, 40 Eagles once more, and Cloak managed to get the ball out, but the kick was smothered off the boot of Lafan. It's still a Craigieburn ball heading for the goal square now. It just bounced over the head of Jason Cloak, and going into the turf is Prestia, and we'll have a ball up at the tip of the square.
Well, you see the bounce off the surface there. I mean, the rain that Melbourne has had in the last 24 hours, the surface has a very yellowish tinge, and you can see there just a huge bounce. It's very firm out there for both teams.
Lil won it from the clearance and streams out of defensive 50s. Kick let him down slightly, but it clean bowled about 5 players all the way to the middle of the ground. In the end, Page onto the loose footy. Tries to send it back inside 50 for Craigieburn. The target there was Davies, but Ross got in the way and wants to switch laterally. Finds Clothier on the far side of the ground. Little one over the top. They're linking up well here. Cronin moves it on an inboard and got it towards Allard, and he comes back inboard. That's where it came unstuck, though. A poor kick from him. Loizu cuts it off for Craigieburn just backwards of the wing.
Started on the bench and now on the ground, left foot ball towards half forward. And is that going to be a mark paid for Essendon Doutta Stars? It is. So Calvaresi has the ball.
Mark or a free kick.
Calvaresi over the top, just pokes one for Javazi, and he can get it moving up towards right half forward, and that kick is no good. They're playing kick to kick right now on the outer wing. Mark taken by Shannon Bennett.
Yeah, it's been a little bit sloppy from both sides in the last couple of minutes or so. At the moment, Craigieburn just holding things up about 20 metres backwards of the wing. Craigieburn bench in front of us. Oh, big fly. Coming down with it there was Cameron Cloak, and he's pushed up the ground. Where's his brother? That'll be the question all day when a Cloak takes a mark. But Cameron has pushed up the ground.
There's one at the MCG, Dave.
There is.
It's gone on the barrel.
Very true. Another big fly there came from Nolan. Did he give away a free kick in the process? Umpire says no. And then he's brought to ground. A ball up at half forward for Craigieburn.
Interesting he went for the barrel there. That's not really a team thing to do.
Does get windy up here in the northern parts of the Hume Shire. There's a free kick off the ball here. It's going to be going to Essendon Doutta Stars.
Well, just on that, we've got Claire Varley out of range at the moment, but hopefully we'll bring her back soon for an update on the weather conditions.
Ball coming all the way back inside defensive 50 here. Barnes will take his kick. Here's James Barnes. Any relation to...
Yeah, John Barnes' son.
Yep, there you go. Thank you, Adrian Jamieson. This is Clothier. Still on Coburg's list in the VFL. Northern Saints last year. Gets it moving towards centre wing. Scaberas is just caught behind on this occasion. Then he forces the boundary throw in. He was up against Josh Young, who I think was at Avondale Heights last year. Young, he's got the ball now. And he's going to move it straight down the line. Left foot ball towards half forward. Cam Cloak got sandwiched between three Douta's players. It goes out of bounds. We're now at right half forward for Craigieburn.
Let's see if we've got Claire Varley. Claire, are you in range?
Can you hear me?
We can. Update on weather. Oh, no, we haven't got you just yet, Claire. You'll have to come a bit closer back to the van.
Boundary throw-in. Cloak becomes the ruckman for Craigieburn. He won the tap down, but trying to shark it there is Naboo. The umpire saying that he got one high. No, ball up after he was brought to ground. Good tackle there from Laruzu. As another ball up, near enough in front of our commentary position. Cameron Cloak does the ruck work once again. A good tap to Gordon. Goes around on the left foot inside 50. No mark taken. Waiting down there is Nolan. Can he shark the foot? He did and got it off to Laruzu, who won himself a free kick. And this should be a shot on goal coming up for Laruzu from about 45 metres out.
Which player are we number here, David?
23.
23 is...
Caruso. Sorry, my handwriting is quite terrible there. Caruso, I should say.
Former Airport West player.
And he's got the free kick. Well, in fact, he won't take the free kick now. Nolan will take it. And he's
long way out here.
Yeah, he is. He's got a couple of Cloaks waiting for it if it drops short on the goal line. Long kick from Nolan. It is going to drop short, and in the end, Jason Cloak comes down with it. The umpire said play on, and then it just was touched off the boot. So just a behind for Craigieburn in the end after that one not paid to Jason Cloak.
Oh, and they swarmed on him after the umpire called play on, and he, if anything, did well not to just get absolutely crunched in the challenge. Claire Varley, we've got you back on the... No, we don't. We'll come back to you later.
So in the hands of Day as we speak for Essendon Doutta Stars, who'll go across the face. And coaches don't like that, but if the loose option's there, it's perhaps okay. As Cronin, he's been good so far. His kick, though, no good. That gets cut off. And it is Craigieburn. It's Lazu that has it. He's going to look to go down the line. Not much lateral kicking so far in this game, and that's been the end result. A lot of cutting off and intercept marking, and now Clothier can clear for the Stars. Half forward we go. Good diving effort to take the mark by Luke Buttigieg.
So he's got it about 70 metres out. He has to wait for a few players to move it forward to the footy. In the end, they link up by hands, and now a shot up towards the top of the goal square is good. Shiloh Smith came back, ran into the open goal. And
no, it was simply in the action of taking the mark, and the umpire should pay 50 there because the Craigieburn player, knowing he was beaten, just decided to tackle him down. But when you're at the top of the goal square, what difference does 1 metre make, I suppose? So
Smith is going to go back and kick a certain goal. That was a good transition from the Stars, probably the best transition of the match that we've seen, and it results in a goal to Shiloh Smith, and the Stars kick clear. 3-2-20. Plays 1-2-8. We've played 14 minutes first term here at DS Aitken Reserve.
Claire Varley, an update on the weather conditions and which way the wind is going in this first quarter, if any.
Honestly, the wind at the moment is practically non-existent. We're lucky we've escaped some of that rain that was falling this morning, but it's definitely pretty muddy.
All right, thank you, Claire. We'll check in with you as the game continues.
Highly unusual for Craigieburn to not have any wind so far, but it's still fairly gloomy. It's a cold day here in Craigieburn as we wait for the restart of this one. 3-2-20 now are Essendon Doutta Stars. 1-2-8 Craigieburn back in the middle. Free kick out of the ruck contest to be taken by Barnes. And a quick hands off to Scaberas. And again, it's Douta's going long and deep into attack. And Smith's the man out the back, but ball just fell short of him. And the ball gets rebounded out in the end by Finch. We're back out towards the outer wing. Hand pass came out to Laverty, former Tulla man. He goes short, very short. Mark taken by Buttigieg.
Jeez, he's had a lot of it early. Buttigieg inside 50 and Smith takes the mark. Another Buttigieg-Smith combination that results in a shot on goal coming up for Doutta Stars. This shot nowhere near as easy as the last, though. He's going to have to kick from pretty much on the boundary line, about 40 metres out.
Interesting, the rotation. Smith's obviously gone forward and Craigieburn can't get a match-up for him.
So it'll take a good kick. You'd have to hope that this kick is prettier than his haircut as he comes in. Oh, it's a perfect set shot. It certainly is prettier than his haircut. It's straight through the middle. And another goal to Shiloh Smith. 2 in a minute for him. And the Stars are well clear in the first quarter now.
Well, 15 minutes gone, and it is 4-2-26 to 1-1-7.
Inside 50s, 8 to Doutta Stars at the moment, 5 to Craigieburn.
Shiloh Smith, Adrian, is he going to mainly play as a forward, or can we expect him to move into the midfield at times during the year?
No, well, apparently there's 12 or 13 midfielders going around. He started the game in the middle, so it'll be interesting.
13 midfielders?
Yeah, rotations, yeah. Like, that's the big thing in local footy at the moment, it's rotations, and, yeah, something Doutas are trying to work on.
Page on all fours back in the middle, tried to get the handball out, and the assistance there came from Heenan. There is a whistle somewhere in there. Umpire Michael Powell is going to give the free kick to Barnes again. He's had a few of those so far today, James Barnes. He'll go over the top. That kick is a good one. The boo's going to go inside 50, and that is all too easy. A very easy mark taken by Jake Brown directly in front, and will kick from 40.
That was the 6 centre break to Doutas, so every centre bounce they've got the clearance so far, and I think 4 of them have been from free kicks as well.
They are a force to be reckoned with in Essendon Ford Division 1 so far. A big win against East Keilor in round 1. The bye last week, and so far they are all over Craigieburn. The shot is good as well from Brown. They've gone bang, 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 bang. Essendon Doutta Stars 5-2-32. Craigieburn 1-2-8.
Love his work, and his brother's performing well at the Cannons. Big Jakey Brown, very Pavlich-like, as he likes to be known, the Pav. But I think that's just because of facial looks, not on football ability.
Jeez, bit harsh, mate. There you go. But as Adam Sarakoglu mentioned, maybe a little bit of off-season spending for Doutta Stars. They're producing bang for their buck as we're back in the middle of the ground. Page and Barnes do the ruck contest once again. It comes out this time to Cronin, and they win the clearance through Laverde up towards half forward. Almost a mark taken there by Buttigieg once again, who's been very busy in this first term. Couldn't quite, and eventually it spills down towards Reece Finch, who's tackled very close to the boundary line, and a ball up the result on the far side of the ground. 18 minutes gone in the first term, and it's Doutta Stars 5-2-32, leading the home side, Craigieburn 1-2-8.
And don't forget, we'll have all the around-the-ground scores coming through during the course of the day, thanks to EDFL Life member David McWilliam.
Cam Cloak has the ball out of sight in front of the Essendon Doutta Stars. Dug out up towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Cloak down there, but also for Essendon Doutta Stars was Buttigieg again once more. I think it was maybe, but it's a Craigieburn ball back. Broadcast side, Scaberas is up against Finch here. No, that's not Finch, that's Young in fact for Craigieburn. Scaberas do well to win the ball out. There's a tackle there on Laverty. Free kick, Craigieburn, advantage paid, and a high ball inside 50. Goes over the head of Cam Cloak. Nolan down there though, and he will miss to the across the face rather, and another minor score for Craigieburn. 139 plays, 5-2-32.
They look good when they're getting it inside 50, but they're just not converting. You know, like once they get through and get the man free, they're looking good.
Javasi short to Allard, who had time to play on and then kick on the left foot. It's a good kick up towards the wing, and you might hear there that Scaberas not too happy, and it's going on right in front of us, right in front of the camera, boys. A bit Bit stupid there, you'd think, considering there's a camera that's basically in the players' faces as they continue on with it off the ball, and the umpire's found a free kick.
Well, about time. I mean, we'd mentioned the off-the-ball stuff, and it was always going to boil over eventually. And as you say, Dave Kennedy, those two players did not care that they were right in front of the cameras, happy to roll the dice and take the risk.
Oh,
Cox has gone fishing there and just won himself a free kick.
Nathan Skiberas, you can take the boy out of Glenroy. It's Cam Cloak that has the ball.
That's unnecessary, guys. Lift the standard, please.
He's gone the barrel again.
My grandmother's from Glenroy.
High ball, top of the square. I've got a lot of family members there, Dave, myself.
She's dead now, though.
It's available for Craigieburn if they can get their hands on the ball here, but Doutta Stars
Great
get back
tackle,
in numbers, and we will have a ball up.
So what's the strategy, do you think, behind Cam Cloak just kicking for territory each time?
It's weird. He's kicked 2 barrels. He kicked the barrel then. He didn't even look for an option. He just bombed it straight into 50.
Well, from the stoppage inside their attacking 50, Craigieburn aren't able to win the clearance, and Doutta Stars...
Another free kick.
Yeah, and it's Shiloh Smith. He's been really busy. I think Paul Barnard mentioned him during the pre-game show. Got it to Clothier, who kicked long. Buttigieg this time edged out of it well, and Tereski takes the marker. Not paid, says the umpire, and it spills out of play in the end. So this might have been a little touch on it.
Yeah, there's warning signs here. This is going to get a bit ugly. I think there could be a bit going on here.
Throw in just forward to centre wing, and the third man up for Craigieburn was Tervzieski. It won't work out though. A high ball up towards half forward, and in the contest was Young up against his nemesis Skiberas. It came to ground, a level. A lot of players are around this ball. It's a real scragging sort of effort right now. Now we'll have the stoppage that will sort out that mess.
No, my apologies to the Tervzieski family. I butchered their name once again.
Yeah, you're making a name for yourself with that, Dave Kennedy, so far this season. We're in the middle now of DS Aitken reserve and claiming the ball. And a bit of a strange handball from Allard, but it'll still work out in the end. The drop punt goes towards half forward. No mark was taken down there by Buttigieg. He was caught behind on that occasion. Still managed to get the hand pass out, though. And now Ema, who is playing his... I don't know if he is his first game of the year. Didn't play against his Keilor. Misses to the near side, and now it's 5-3, 33. Essendon Doutta Stars. Craigieburn a 1-3-9.
I think one of the good signs for Craigieburn is they are actually breaking even in general play. It's just every time that Essendon Doutta Stars move the ball inside forward 50, they look likely to score, and Craigieburn, as good as they've been converting, cannot actually win the territorial battle at the moment. But I feel as though, guys, it's not danger signs just yet. They've still got a bit of skin in the game.
22 minutes gone. They wouldn't want to concede another goal. They'd love one of their own, as well as the kick from Heenan is good and finds Davies just backwards of the wing, hands off, and they can go short once again, very short in the end. And Loizu set a task, did well to pick it up though, got it back to Jesse Davies, and then a long kick down the line.
Smart.
No mark paid to McAuliffe, and Clothier's over the footy, needs to get rid of it. No, umpire said ball up, so a ball up at half forward for Craigieburn on the near side here at DS Aitken Reserve.
And doing the ruck all by himself was Cloak on that occasion. Did very well to get it down to Caruso as well, but he couldn't keep it in play, and we will have another throw in.
Interesting stat at the moment. Doutta's clearances 13 to Craigieburn 2. So they're getting smashed around the clearances.
Throw in to take place already. It is a 24-point lead for Essendon Doutta Stars. A ball going inside 50. McAuliffe, the young man for Craigieburn, also started on the bench, but another free kick, and it will go Essendon Doutta Stars' way. And Clothier's going to run off the mark, but he was ahead of it, so he's got to come back.
Geez, he was only about 3 centimetres ahead of it there, but the umpire pinging him. They are going to switch play as a result, and now Thomas, short. Mark is taken, Calvaresi. He's forced back on the mark by Jason Cloak, but he's got a left foot, so I'm sure that he knows how to kick it well. The kick was intended for Brown, who was caught behind. Did well to make a contest of it, really, and now it's in dispute, and they lock it up. In the end, a good result for the Stars after Brown was caught behind. A ball up just forward to centre wing.
We'll go down to Claire Varley at the next break and play, just for some observations on what she's hearing over the sidelines at the moment.
24 minutes in, so quarter time is approaching. Half forward once more for Douttas, and Brown will take the mark inside 50, but he might just be on his limit for distance. Jambo, can you help us out? Will he have a shot?
Yeah, he'll go back. I'll back him here.
Beautiful clearance, wasn't it, from Calvaresi? Then he just hit the contest at full pace and kicked it to a dangerous spot.
Just from beyond 50 is where the kick will take place from on the 45, and it's coming in now. He's on the runway, unloads, put everything into that ball. It's a bit of a helicopter that will go across the face and eventually sneak through for a minor score, and it's 5-4-34 now. Essendon Doutta Stars. Craigieburn 1-3-9, 24 and a half in.
Let's check in with Claire Varley on the sidelines. Claire, much to report from your vantage point in the ground?
Not too much at this point. Over on the Doutta Stars bench, there was not much said other than a couple of little celebrations after those first few goals, but the main talking point is the Cloak brothers, really.
All right, thank you, Claire. We'll check in with you again at quarter time.
Shaberas to Allard inside 50. Oh, that's pickpocketed there by Buttigieg. And the umpires paid the mark. Well,
wow.
Craigieburn fans will be absolutely seething after Brent Gordon was not paid a mark just moments ago whilst Claire Varley was speaking. And now this is a questionable mark that's taken by Buttigieg inside 50. He's already got one today, and he starts his approach, comes in and kicks the goal. Another goal to the Stars in the shadows of quarter time. 25 and a half minutes gone, and they have goal number 6. 6-4-40. They lead Craigieburn 1-3-9.
Good to see him getting around Shiloh Smith there for all the work that he did in getting the turnover as such. So, you know, they've got a lot of winners over the park at the moment. And Craigieburn, I'd get one of the Cloaks into the ruck. I'd try and expose the Cloaks. I'd try to expose Barnes.
2 multiple goal kickers so far. Smith and Buttigieg both with 2 on the board for the Stars. It's 31 points the difference, and we're well into time on now of the first quarter.
Yeah, 26 minutes have ticked by. Back in the middle. This time it will be a Craigieburn clearance. Caruso. It's a wobbling ball and it's no good. It's cut off by Day.
Oh.
Got put down after the mark was
and
taken.
50.
Well,
Yeah.
it's frustrating because they did so well to win the clearance there. We've been talking about Essendon Doutta Stars winning the clearances, but it was just almost an excited kick that they'd actually got first use of the ball and found an Essendon Doutta Stars man inside 50. And that was more an accident than anything intentional. And if anything, maybe a little bit harsh to give 50 away.
Day's going to drill one into the hot spot once more, and just a bit too much there to do for Skiberas. The ball did come out in the end, and it's Young that has it for Craigieburn. A high ball, and that's going to be going straight back down the throat of Mitch Day.
Runner got in the way there. I think
Of his own player as well.
Yeah, it was of his own player, though, at least.
Brenton Cox down behind play for Craigieburn as well.
Day goes short down the line. Smith, geez, he's a hard runner. You can see this from Smith, and he goes inside 50, measured kick, and a good fly by Ema takes the mark about 40 metres out. Another gettable shot on goal coming up for Essendon Doutta Stars.
Well, guys, I've got to say, if this keeps up, this might be the last time we see Douttas before September on EDFL radio. We want a close one. We want a close one when we take the van, and unfortunately,
We haven't had one yet.
Unfortunately, Douttas have got all the answers at the moment.
I think you're suggesting that they'll go through undefeated.
No, not undefeated. Just saying that maybe it's going to be hard to see where they're going to lose one.
Ema
Late
starts
11.
it right, bends it back perfectly. Another goal to the Stars, and they're well clear. 7-4-46. They lead the home side. Craigieburn 1-3-9.
Well, at the 19-minute mark of the quarter, I said that Craigieburn were in it. It felt as though they were breaking even around the ground. That was when it was 19 points. Doutta Stars have kicked 3 unanswered goals since then, and it's now 37 points the difference. We've got a Craigieburn player being treated right in front of us as well. Cox is being looked at by one of the trainers for a bit of a facial injury, maybe the concussion test. So hopefully he's back on the ground. Last thing we want is Craigieburn to lose a man for the rest of the day.
McAuliffe in the ruck now for Craigieburn as well. Page on the bench as we speak. High contact, free kick. Will go Essendon Doutta Stars away.
No.
Get Claire Varley to keep an eye on the medical inspection of Cox.
Pelly's just...
signalled the wrong way, Pelly.
yeah, he did.
Fundamental
He
mistake.
had us fooled there,
Long
Pelly. And Mitch Day again.
He's
Third interceptor mark in the last couple of minutes now.
absolutely reading it like a book when it goes into the forward half for Craigieburn, and Douttas are out.
Clothier's got it, little one over the top, and they've already got the overlap of numbers. And the mark is taken here by our mystery man, number 73, not 100% sure who that is. And he goes short and finds Clothier. So Craigieburn doing well defensively here to force the switch from Doutta Stars, and they go all the way across the ground, and now a little short kick in to Ross. So they haven't gained any territorial advantage. Now they move it forward towards Buttigieg. He couldn't quite take it. It comes off hand. Shaberas runs up towards the 50, kicks up towards Brown, but had it punched away from him. Boundary thrown inside 50 for Doutta Stars far side.
Well, here's a quarter time score. First one in for the day. East Keilor 2-4-16. Oak Park 1 behind 1 point.
Ooh.
Cougars on the march.
Inside 50 for Essendon Doutta Stars, and
Douta's
they will
free.
get another free kick.
I think that might have been
Smith.
front-on contact to the head there with Smith with his head over the ball, and the Craigieburn player, not malicious, just clumsy, and gives away a free kick.
Before the shot, Taste, want to repeat that score? That
Yes,
came
it
through?
is East Keilor 2-4-16 leading Oak Park 1 behind 1 point.
There you go.
Wow.
Cougars automatically going down, according to many. They're going to be all right, it seems, especially if Essendon Doutta Stars are this good. Perhaps that loss wasn't so bad in round 1. Smith goes bang again, and they've already got the half ton before quarter time.
Well, we actually discussed that, didn't we, Adam? Whether Douttas were that good or whether East Keilor were that bad.
I've got a quote from you, Jambo. East Keilor are just waving hello before they wave goodbye.
I retract that. I retracted that. Hillside. Well, they're the favourites to go down now. So it's a big day.
Let's check in with Claire Varley. Brenton Cox was being attended to on the bench. Claire, any update there?
Yeah, he's been kicked in the throat and he came off. He's feeling quite restricted in his windpipe and feeling like he's going to throw up.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully he does recover and is able to make a return. A very important player to the Craigieburn team.
So Cox under the weather. No good for Craigieburn as the scrimmage results in another clearance for Doutta Stars. They're just doing it a little bit too easily at the moment. There's the siren though, and quarter time will be a welcome relief for Craigieburn, you'd feel. At quarter time it's 8-4-52. Doutta Stars, they're leading it by a considerable margin. 1-3-9 Craigieburn. The margin at quarter time is 43 points.
Well, guys, I've got to say I am absolutely disappointed. Chase up what's gone wrong with him. Adrian Jamieson, Adam Sarakoglu and Dave Kennedy rejoin me here in the box. Guys, second quarter's about to get underway. First break and play. I'll have premier scores for you around the grounds.
Big hello to the Pud, Wayne Anthony, only betting me by 1 in the tips so far, so we'll keep an eye on the tips throughout the year.
Any free lunches today, Pud?
Yeah.
All right, guys, we actually can't hear what he's saying, so how about calling the game?
Second term is underway here at Aiken Reserve, and it's going to be a Craigieburn clearance on this occasion. Young will get it towards half forward, and there's a loose man down there, but Heenan couldn't get there in time. It went to ground level, and it will stay in play for Douttas. They'll go backwards to work forward, and it's going to rebuild off the right back pocket here. A little kick over the top, and that one is good for Skiberas, so a slow start for the second term so far, still inside defensive 50. And Skiberas will go backwards. I suppose they can afford to do that right now, Essendon Doutta Stars, and it's going to be a slow build for Allard.
All right, first score I've got around the grounds. Greenvale 9-1-55. West Coburg 2 behind 2 points. Back to play.
Cloak just made Clothier really earn his mark there, and then Cloak was floored. Cloak was on the ground after that. The umpire just saying, settle it down, boys, and short kick finds Ramsey.
Good umpire in there.
Who goes up towards Shiloh Smith, didn't take the mark, gathered at ground level, good enough to get the handball off, and this is where Doutta Stars have been good today. They link up by hands, not a great handball, set a task for Big Barnes, but geez, he's gone a hell of a long way down to pick that up, get it to Calvaresi, kick inside 50, was no good though. That's where it came unstuck. Craigieburn can build from this on this near side, I should say.
Caruso has the ball and just took his time to get it moving, but it was okay in the end. He did find Thomas in the middle of the ground, and now one hand for Cloak. Clean bowled him. Now Jason. He's going to be ripped off the footy. No free kick for him. Cam gets it back. Now Nolan. Hand pass inboard. That's okay. Craigieburn going deep once more. Heenan. His kick was wanting hope to the goal square. It was no good. And in the end, Allard, who's been very good so far in that last line of defence, just clears the 50 with the kick. And it's going to be a throw-in, or is it on the full?
Out on the full, I think.
All right, quickly around the ground, Strathmore 5-2-32, Airport West 2-6-18, and Northern Saints 3-1-19, Maribyrnong Park 12-3-75.
Wow.
That is absolutely incredible. Long kick inside 50. Page flew, gathered at ground level. His kick was partially smothered though, and Barnes clears the danger zone. A good kick, his kick was cut off, and mark is taken by Makatic. He's too far out to score. Just wants to loft it up to the hot spot. Jason Cloak almost clunked it. And then Clothier gathered at ground level, got it over the top. Allard gave it to Clothier, who got it in turn to Prestia. Calvaresi inside his defensive 50. The Stars just looking for numbers. In the end, Brown is forced right up the ground, didn't take the mark, did well to gather and get the handball though. It's good work from him, but that's where it came unstuck. His kick goes and finds Cox, who's definitely back out on the ground. Very close to the boundary line, his kick, but it's good. Heenan takes the mark about a metre in. Side play about 45 metres out. It'd take a very good kick from there. He's going to look short. Short kick is good. And a shot on goal coming up for Craigieburn. It was a big, hard build-up for them, but now they've finally worked it inside 50. A shot on goal coming up for Brent Gordon.
All scores, the graphic is up at EDFL Footy on Twitter and on the EDFL Facebook, facebook.com/EDFL Footy. All the quarter-time scores in active games are now online.
To say that Craigieburn need this would be a ridiculous understatement. Gordon, he's a left footer. He starts it on the left point post and it basically goes over the top of the point post. The umpire is just holding off on giving the decision. It's surely a point.
I know it's a televised game.
And the umpire eventually giving the right score, and it is a behind.
Well, I wonder if that'll come up in Rowan Saw's umpire review video. Claire Varley is back from the Craigieburn rooms.
Guys, I don't think the point's confirmed yet.
No,
the umpire's calling a goal, but I thought it hit the post.
Oh, that looked like a point all day from our angle, but goal umpire's in the best position.
Yeah.
While they confer, Claire Varley, what's the latest from the Craigieburn rooms on Brenton Cox?
We haven't got any updates on him except that he really wants to get back out.
All right, well, that's a good sign that at least he's here and he wants to get back on the field. Thank you, Claire.
This is a... Oh, he's...
Yeah, so it was a point all day, but good to see that they've at least made 100% sure of it.
Yeah, finally we'll have the ball in, the kick in.
14.99 metres there.
Brenton Cox is running around in the middle of the ground.
He's back out there.
He got a kick just before.
Hang on, Craigieburn have only got 3 on the bench, though.
So we're missing one.
Oh, no, they've got 4. Someone's wearing a sweatshirt, that's why.
I think it's actually a subs vest. Young Cheshire hasn't actually come on the ground just yet for Craigieburn. Half forward we go, and Essendon Doutta Stars are going to go inside 50 for the first time in the second term. The boot is just going to lob it up towards the hot spot. Miles was there. He's our man in 73, Dave. Miles, as Craigieburn get the ball back out, hand pass over the top, and under a bit of pressure was Jesse Davies holding the ball. Free kick advantage paid, and a goal for Essendon Doutta Stars. The former Aberfeldy man, Anthony Prestia, gets the goal from 40, and it is Essendon Doutta Stars picking up where they left off. It's 9-4-58 now, playing 1-4-10.
So can we confirm, was it Miles or Lil that kicked that goal in the first quarter? Miles. All right. So Prestia becomes the fifth goal kicker, I should say, for Essendon Doutta Stars today. 9-4-58 to 1-4-10, 48 points the margin. Let's run through some of those quarter-time scores again. Greenvale 9-1-55, West Coburg 2 behinds, Northern Saints 3-1-19, Maribyrnong Park 12-3-75, Strathmore 5-2-32, Airport West 2-6-18, Avondale Heights 5 p.m. start, Keilor versus Pascoe Vale Sunday game.
Jeez, some big margins around the grounds, and a big margin here at the moment that is extending as the Doutta Stars open their account in the second quarter. It's in dispute here. The umpire says holding the ball, so...
and is that Scaveris again at the heart of antagonising matters? It's certainly... How could I be mistaken? But... he was getting into an issue there with Makitic on this occasion, and it's going to walk 50. Craigieburn inside. Well, that's good umpiring, because let's be honest, he's been an antagonist for most of the day, has been able to give away only the one free kick so far, and I suppose if you walk on the wild side to the extent that he has, you're going to run foul of the umpire sooner or later. I
suppose the way it's looking right now, you'd want to get it all out of his system now and before August, so he doesn't miss any September action.
It really comes down to, we'll keep a track of the goal. Makitic kicks the goal, and Craigieburn get the instant response. They certainly need it. 2-4-16. They trail Stars 9-4-58. But, guys, it comes down to the fact that Scaveras, he dropped an easy mark right in front of our commentary position, and you can tell that he's still frustrated after that. But you can't let little things like that plague you the entire match, surely.
Essendon for Division 1 around the grounds, other scores that we've got through here. Of course, these are now all available online as well. Taylor's Lakes 2 behinds, 2 points. Tullamarine 5-2-32. East Keilor 2-4-16. Oak Park 1 behind. Glenroy 3-4-22. West Meadows 7 straight 42.
Well, it's hard to tell looking at our broadcast game right now, but Essendon 4 Division 1 still throwing up plenty of surprises. Caruso has the ball at centre half forward, and he finds Cam Cloak.
Well, go back, line up, kick the goal, and do this a number of more times this afternoon, really. That's the order of the day for Craigieburn from here.
Does seem like that the eastern end is a scoring end, so perhaps they can chip away this deficit. Craigieburn, Cam Cloak is going to get into his routine and try and kick this goal.
He is a towering, gigantic figure out there on this field at the moment. Compared to the interleague game last year where he looked like just another player, he cuts an absolutely huge presence here in Essendon Forward Division 1.
So about a 40-degree angle, about 50 out. He'll miss to the near side, minus score, and it is 9-5-59. Essendon Doutta Stars, Craigieburn 2-4-16, 8 minutes in.
Well, the Craigieburn coach actually spoke at quarter time about the breeze, and when I was out there, it was actually blowing that way, but I don't think it's a 6-goal breeze.
From the kick in, there's a free kick going the Stars' way, and it'll be a free kick at half back here. It might be Calvaresi on the far side, looking for options, and the umpire now calling him to play on. He's going to be forced to kick right across the face of goal. Cloak's coming late, but Lil stood underneath it well and then ran away through defence. He ran into a brick wall, though, and they're forced to work it out. Clothier, little kick along the ground. Calvaresi couldn't pick it up, and they've turned it over. Young kicks inside 50 for Craigieburn. It's going wide. It's too wide, unfortunately. Out of bounds on the full. He had more time to do better with that, Josh Young, and he'd be disappointed with that effort.
Craigieburn are dominating play here. They're winning the hard ball and getting in, and I'm sure their coaching staff will be a lot happy with the start to the second quarter.
If they can put it on the scoreboard, just chip away, make sure it doesn't get any worse than it currently is, they will have absolutely a chance of turning this around. I mean, very few teams win games of footy with 58 points, and that's what Douttas are on at the moment.
Heaton has the ball. It's coming back in for Craigieburn. 41 points currently to deficit, and he kicked it to a cluster of Stars. Pun intended, free kick though, Craigieburn. And it's going to be taken there by Davies. He's too far out to score, though. Man on the mark is actually outside 50, so it'll take a massive effort here.
One of the homegrown young players for Craigieburn, Jesse Davies.
Let's see how he goes. It's a right foot ball, and it looks good off the boot, but it will miss to the near side, I think.
Well, we've underestimated just how influential the scoring, and you'd almost think the ground is like a pinball machine on a tilt the way he sent that down towards goal.
It was a huge kick, wasn't it? You had to admire the drop punt even though it missed. But Craigieburn leading the scoring shots and leading the quarter 1-3 to just 1 goal. And the Stars trying to work this one out. They're attacking 50. The umpire calling this one out on the full. Calvaresi is not happy about it, so a free kick is going to go to Sean Stewart right on centre wing. In fact, he's got his own coaching staff to navigate as he wheels around onto the right foot and kicks up towards Jason Cloak. No mark taken by him. Trying to come in there is Cronin. He's well wrapped up, and they're under pressure here, the Stars, but they do well to clear defence in the end. And the long kick comes up towards a 2-on-1. And in the end, the Craigieburn one out, and it's Ben Finch.
Good play.
In the long sleeves today, a very smart man, up towards centre half forward once more. Coming from behind is Cloak, and he put a knee into the back of a Stars player who is not getting up straight away. Now he does. It came back out towards the middle of the ground. It was fisted away as well. Clothier, no, that's Smith in fact. He had to evade a couple of Craigieburn tacklers. Now Calvaresi just coughed up the ball, and the Eagles have numbers out the back. One of them is Stewart.
This is good from Craigieburn. Good pressure.
And inside 50 we go. Bennett. That kick is good. So Craigieburn looking to get a score on the board through this passage of play. Lafan is going to go looking for Cam Cloak over his head, though. And it was marked in the end. And Essendon Doutta Stars are going to switch to the outer side. Barnes up against Caruso. Will that stay in play? It will for Caruso. Snaps it back in towards the hot spot. And absolutely no one went for it.
Yeah, Lafan was underneath that, and there was a big groan from the crowd. There was obviously some miscommunication out there. Calvaresi, meantime, dribbles it 20 metres in front of himself and works it out of play. Boundary throw in.
There's no talk. He just stood there watching the ball. He should have been told, yours. You know, he was on his own.
As you mentioned just before, Teo, there's promising signs here for Craigieburn, though. They've kept it in their front half for the last 3 or 4 minutes of this match at least. Meantime, Doutta Stars work it out of the clearance, but once again, the wall across half forward, or across the middle of the ground, is working well.
They've stopped Doutta's end-to-end transition, and that's what Doutta... Well, and right on cue, potential turnover in the corridor. That's a coach killer.
Bennett was the one that turned it over. Shabera's onto the loose footy, and he kicks out wide. They're not clean, though, the Stars, and they might get away with it. No, the handball comes out towards Smith. He's well tackled here by Loizu. Eventually, it spills out, and now Buttigieg Hands back and they go inside 50. Kick intended for Ema. He's got 2 to beat. He can't beat either. And Craigieburn at least clear it out of their defensive 50 for now. A foot race is on. Both players very close to the boundary line. Mitch Day keeps it in. Gordon's onto the loose footy though. He's tackled by Day and a ball up the result. Right on centre wing in front of our commentary position, maybe 10 metres forward.
We nearly had one of those very rare moments where the ball comes to a completely dead stop on the field of play there. It was just rolling end over end like a lawn bowl approaching the jack.
On the ground now is Cheshire. Spent the entire game, first quarter on the bench. He got the clearing kick, but only went as far as Laverty in towards the square. He goes. Mark taken by Miles, a goal kicker today, and against East Keilor, 2 in round 1. Half forward once more. Smith couldn't take the mark, tried to crash the pack. There's now a 32 out there for Essendon Doutta Stars. I don't know if we have a number for that particular man, and there's going to be a free kick for Craigieburn here, last line of defence. Number 32, Jambo. We don't have that on our sheet.
Can tell you that in the record it's Brendan George.
It's ball fisted down by Lil. Craigieburn will go forward. Cheshire again getting the clearing kick. It'll stay in play for the time being. Lil, or Miles rather, will get it now, and his hand pass got intercepted by Gordon.
Well, Brendan George, he's wearing 58.
Maybe has the 58 actually made it onto the field though? Maybe he switched to 32 late. Anyway, uncontested ruck tap for the Eagles at the stoppage.
And they win it down to Davies, who goes through traffic towards McAuliffe, who kicks a dribbling ball inside 50. Eventually it spills out to Jason Cloak, back to McAuliffe round the corner. Just couldn't quite get the distance on it, and it's cut off the last line by Clothier. And the Stars are away on the far side. Brown is the man that is the intended target. He got a little bit of separation from his opponent, but in the end, Craigieburn do well to make sure that one goes out of play. Boundary throw-in on the far side of the ground, about 20 metres forward of centre wing for Craigieburn.
And that is what they've done well. When Doutta Stars are breaking out of their back 50, Craigieburn have actually manned up. They've been able to move their defensive line and put them in a position that Douttas can't just transition the ball end-to-end in the blink of an eye. With that said, they've won the ball here at a clearance and got a chance to go forward.
Yeah, Ramsey got involved there and a mark taken now. We think this is Brendan George.
Yes, it is.
We'll go with it in towards the middle. Clothier takes the mark, true centre half forward, and he takes on the man on the mark as well. Has his shot. It won't make the distance, and a mark will be claimed by Brown, and he will.
No.
Umpire is signalling
a mark.
A Doutta Stars ball.
Wow, okay. I was going to say he had 9/10 of it if that one was going to be rushed through for a behind. I thought the goal umpire was maybe a little bit trigger happy to signal the point, but it looks as though it's a goal coming up, shot from point blank range.
Goal in the first quarter, and he should kick goal number 2 for himself and number 10 for Essendon Doutta Stars, and the margin will be 48 points. That's all barring a miraculous miss, which it's not. It's a goal. And it's 48 points at Aiken Reserve. Jake Brown gets goal number 2.
So 10-4-64 leads 2-6-18. That was Doutta's first goal since the 5-minute mark of the quarter. So Craigieburn, for all the hard work that they'd done, they kicked 1 goal 2, and Doutta's now kicking a goal back. It really feels as though the hard work has been for little, because all of a sudden we are out to a game-high margin of 46 points.
Well, Craigieburn have gone inside 58.
Sorry, the game high is 48. We're back to 46.
Yeah, Craigieburn have gone inside 58 times this quarter. Douttas have gone in 4 times for 2 goals. So just shows you the efficiency up forward.
Yeah, that'd be devastating for the Craigieburn players that have worked really hard in this quarter, and they're going to be put under pressure once again. Shabera's deep kick inside 50. Brown flies from behind, couldn't quite come down with it. Buttigieg at ground level, hands off. He had a lot of time to pick a player in the end. The player that he picked was wrapped straight up, and a good tackle coming there from Jesse Davies. The umpire not mucking around, back into play straight away. Craigieburn win the tap down, uncontested almost. Shiloh Smith, though, coming through with pace. He's all wrapped up. The ball spills loose, though. It's still just edging forward for Stars. In the end, Young gathers, kicks around the corner. Calvaresi flew early. He almost just about took the mark. Had the presence of mind to give it off, though, to Thomas from the boundary line, right across the face of goal. And it's cut off by Ben Finch in the back pocket for Craigieburn.
Last line of defence for the Eagles, and he'll go straight down the line. He kicked to a very dangerous one-on-one, and it results in a Doutta Stars turnover, and the Booze handball went nowhere. Luckily, George got brought to ground And did he dispose of the footy?
High
He got
contact there.
Taken high.
The Craigieburn man had his head over the ball, and Douta's player ran through Terzievski there and just got him high.
All right, so it's now a Craigieburn ball broadcast side, and Sean Stewart is just going to look around and go short. That's okay. And now the Eagles will go long, a high 1.5 forward, and Jason Cloak is going to get 2 bites of the cherry.
He's got Cam one out.
Will he try the barrel?
No, he's going to say, I've seen enough in this quarter to back myself with the wind at my back. I'm going to go for goal.
It is an ultra chilly day today, Aiken Reserve as well.
I think it's dropped about 5 degrees.
Shot on goal is off the side of the boot, but it might be coming back. There's a lot of right to left about that one. Perhaps an Eagles able to get their body into the post to see if that could sway the ball to go through the middle, but it didn't. I think it was Cam himself. A minus score in the end for Craigieburn, and they'll move to 10-5-65.
No, 2-7-19, trailing 10-4-64, 45 points the difference.
Had that the wrong way around.
Claire Varley, what's the latest down there on the sidelines? What are you seeing from the Craigieburn bench at the moment?
Well, they were pretty happy with how they were going at the start of the quarter, but after that first Doutta Stars point, the mood really dropped instantly.
All right, keep an eye on things. Thank you, Claire, down there on the sidelines for us on Northwest FM.
From the kick in, Craigieburn forced it out of play, but Barnes wins that tap down convincingly, and now Clothier is in the corridor and kicks a long ball. Buttigieg is the target. He flies, but very strong in the contest there is Ben Finch. Wants to switch play for Craigieburn. It's a good kick. He finds the target. Now Shannon Bennett can build off half-back for Craigieburn. Goes up towards Cameron Cloak. He's got the prime position and he takes the mark, wants to move it on quickly, kicks in towards the hot spot. Jason Cloak's a long way off this one, but a huge grab is taken there by Allard, and he's going to move it to that far side.
High ball, 1-on-1, and still worked out for Douta's. A really good piece of play there, and they'll just play some tempo for the time being. Kick in board, Barnes at true centre-half back, and no one near him, so he can just hold on to it for now and just kick it short. That's okay. And the Essendon Doutta Stars will move it in towards the middle of Aiken Reserve. Is that your free kick? It is. It's going to be taken by Laverty. He goes short, still inside the square for the Stars. Now they're going long. Ema straight to the goal square, but no one's there except for Finch. That's Ben Finch of Craigieburn. Goes looking for the big man, Jeremy Page. And doing well in the end. Much shorter, Brandon Thomas. Got a hand on that ball. Didn't allow the Page mark. And here he is again, Thomas. Just on the outskirts of 50. And that ball is cut off. There's been a lot of intercept marking so far today.
Got a progress score. Jacana 6-7-43, leading East Sunbury 6-2-38. East Sunbury getting it right up to their eyeballs.
Chopping the arms, free kick right in front of our commentary position. Matt Chester with the footy. And Sean Ross and the umpire just having a little bit of a discussion there. Short kick from Chester is good. Cheshire, I should say. And now Makatic has it right on the true centre wing position. He plays on. Kicks towards Jason Cloak at centre half forward. Over the top is Lil. Tapped it down. Jason Cloak came back to pick it up. Kicked over the top. Cameron Cloak can run in and kick a goal. Craigieburn
and he has kicked that to Epping. He has just roosted that, trying to get it over the street into the residential houses right here next to DS Aitken.
Well,
having fun.
It's their third goal of the quarter, and whatever Cameron Cloak's match fee is, you can add a new share into that. Oh no, they've recovered it. I thought it had got stuck straight in the tree. 3-7 plays 10-4.
Back to 39 points. It hasn't been this close since the 27-minute mark of the first quarter.
Well, the Cloaks are dominating, but they just don't have enough support.
But they're in the game.
Oh,
that's the important thing, yeah.
But Douta's are just backing the matchups, Clothier on Cloak, and going one-on-one. I think they've actually dropped someone back now. They might have just want to stem this a bit.
There had been whispers that the Cloaks have been great additions to this club, but the midfield perhaps not providing the ball, but on this occasion it does work out. Cloak will take the mark and he can go back and have another shot.
It was like a golf clap there from the home fans. It wasn't a roar or it wasn't a cheer. It was just nice work, boys. That's what we want to see. And I think any neutral in this game, we'll be hoping that the margin can be pegged back now to 33 points.
Supply was the word I was looking for there. That's been lacking perhaps from the midfield of Craigieburn, but on this occasion they've gone bang, bang, and they get 2 quick goals Jason Cloak gets himself onto the score sheet, and it is now 4-7-31. Craigieburn, Essendon, Doutta Stars 10-4-64.
Well, these guys carry a huge amount of responsibility for this Craigieburn team. They've been highly sought after recruits. Any club in Victoria would like them. Obviously, Craigieburn had the most attractive scenario for them to come here, and right now they're performing, and it's back to 33 points. It's the closest it's been since the 25-minute mark of the first quarter. So Craigieburn slowly chipping away. Doutta Stars still with the aces up their sleeves, but certainly at the moment, Craigieburn are showing that they're right back in this contest.
22 and a half minutes gone, second term. Craigieburn are really trying to work their way back into the contest, and they've lifted their intensity. They force another stoppage. Prestia brought to a standstill, so a ball up about 5 metres forward of the centre of the ground. Both teams there just edged their opponents out of the footy. The ball up just hit the ground. It's still in dispute in the middle of the ground. Shabera is the man that emerges from the contest after a free kick and advantage. Now the shot on goal or up towards Brown. One-on-one contest. Now 2-on-1 as Craigieburn get numbers to the contest and they work their way out of this. Terzaveski kicks out of defence and the mark is taken by Nolan. I can't say I'm sorry, boys.
Skaberas and Tervieski, I think. We'll get back to that one. Nolan, half forward for Craigieburn. A big fly.
1 on 3.
It was basically, 1 on none in the end because he's such an imposing unit. Cam Cloak, half forward we go for Craigieburn. He rushed his kick and Calvaresi was there in the front position. 50 against Caruso here.
Yeah, well, I mean, he rolled the dice that the umpire was going to be lenient there because that is to the letter of the law a 50-metre penalty. He was just hoping that the umpire may have overlooked it or been lenient on that occasion, but good umpiring.
That was a poor kick by Cloak. I'm sorry. Expect more.
All the way up to centre wing. Marcus Calvaresi has the ball. Played plenty of games up in Premier last year for the Stars. He goes long, high and direct, and Brown just going to wait for it at the back. It might have been touched on the way through, so no mark was paid to him. Ramsey just got his kick. It won't go far, barely 15 metres. A lot of Craigieburn players back there, and one of them. And working his way out of traffic was Stewart, although he lost the ball. Scaberas got it back for Essendon Doutta Stars. Calvaresi and Ross. High ball now into the goal square. Brown is underneath it. Had 2 Eagles to beat. It came off Hanzo, and a dribbling goal is kicked by Mark Anderson.
Well, that hurts because Sean Stewart did so much hard work there to break a tackle, and then his handball got intercepted. So after taking the game on and having the courage, he got no reward there. And then again, the defender comes over with a textbook spoil, but the Douta's man reads it straight off his hand, and that's bad luck. You know, they've done some good football plays in that passage of play, and they get punished with the goal against them. So Douta's right now just with a few breaks, a few smarts around the fall of the ball, and they get rewarded for it, even though Craigieburn probably did everything they could in that defensive situation.
Typical Rovers goal there from Marky Anderson. He likes those ones at the front and square. Dribble it through 9 times out of 10.
11-4-70 plays 4-7-31 back in the middle of the ground. Free kick going Craigieburn's way. They won the clearance, but this one will be brought back. No advantage is given, so free kick in the middle of the ground.
Got some half-time scores, guys. Jacana 6-7-43 leading East Sunbury 6-2-38, and East Keilor 5-5-35 still leading Oak Park 3-5-23.
Gordon kicked to a one-on-one, and Page won himself a free kick. He handballed off to Davies, who ran straight into trouble. It was a poor call from Davies, and they've turned it over. The Stars run it out of defence. Good pressure on the ball carrier, sees the turnover at half-back, though, and Bennett takes the mark about 20 metres backwards of the wing for Craigieburn.
Obviously, Page doesn't kick. He's got a handball in the old-fashioned style of ruckman.
Now Gordon, long towards Cameron Cloak, forced to punch from behind, and one spills out of play. Boundary throw-in about 10 metres forward to centre wing. Craigieburn.
Claire, as the quarter wears on, anything to report down there on the sidelines?
They're really just concentrating on defence at this point, wanting them to put pressure and work, but it's just not working for them.
39-point ball game, half-time siren not far away. Smith got pushed out of that ball by Caruso, then he got tackled by Skaberas. Still, it's an Essendon Doutta Stars ball, and they're going to stream off half-back as Prestia takes a bounce. Half-forward now, and he kicked to the one-on-one. Craigieburn had numbers down there, and one of them is Georgievski, went down the line, and now Cox is going to be thrown over the line by Shiloh Smith, and it could incite something.
That is a free kick.
It'll be on.
The umpires missed one there. The ball was clearly out of play, and he's been dumped in the tackle, so that's one to put down in the miss column.
Umpire Michael Powell letting that one go. Perhaps the players' code there may have just been a factor in that one. Just if it's obvious, pay it. If it's not, just let it go. Let boys be boys. Here's Cronin, got put into the deck by Heenan. Ball up.
That's good.
Great tackle by Heenan there. That's tough.
Yeah, as you say, it's good to see that Craigieburn had one of their own in Cox put down, and then they put Cronin down, who was gathered the footy there in front of us, and now from the ball up, no one able to really gather clear possession. Nolan's over this one, and he's brought to a standstill. Ball up centre wing, pretty much where the Anzac proceedings occurred before the game.
Well, it's 39 points, guys. If Craigieburn can just jag one back, they'll feel as though they've got a foothold in this game. But if Douta's hold it as is or kick another one, then they will be a long way ahead at half-time.
Thomas to Shiloh Smith up towards Anderson. He was well tackled, but he managed to get the handball off to Shiloh Smith. Was floored after disposal.
And it's
Mark Anderson.
It's on now.
Mark Anderson, he's got in there, the little under 12.
Well, I'm not sure they are. Now, I understand flying the flag, guys, but again, this is...
Ross come in now like a steam train.
Yeah, there are guys taking the next couple of weeks in the palms of their hands right now, and I understand that when you see a teammate go down like that, you do want to go in and fly the flag.
So essentially, let's recap. So Shiloh Smith kicked inside 50, and Shannon Bennett was really the instigator of this.
It's still on there.
Got dumped late, but then Mark Anderson ran in as the third man. And
Anderson ran in. Ross ran in.
He lined him up from 5 metres away and just almost charged at him like a rugby player.
Meantime, 50, and Brendan George kicks the goal.
There's Robbie Lamberti directing traffic, the Doutta Stars runner, Moonee Valley legend, ex-legend.
So for all their efforts, Craigieburn, in this second quarter, it's Doutta Stars that lead the quarter 4 goals to 3 goals for. It's a disappointing result, and unfortunately you have to put that one down to a lack of discipline. Brendan George gets on the score sheet, and they move to 11-4-76.
12-4.
Sorry, 12-4-76, and Craigieburn 4-7. Not enough.
Oh, it's brought the crowd into it.
Here we go.
That's for sure. And you just hope that the spectators keep their heads screwed on in this situation, because we've seen it. You want it to stay out on the field. You don't want it to spill over onto the sidelines.
And into our effects mics as well.
Well, we do apologise for
live.
anyone who has picked up on that today, but that's local footy, I suppose.
Caruso hands the ball back to the umpire, thrown up again once more in the mud heap at Aiken Reserve. Heenan gets the ball. It's been good, Heenan, so far for Craigieburn. One of the few contributors, but his kick only went as far as Calvaresi, and that will be that.
Well, that's how important that goal, the 50-metre penalty there for George, is. If they'd held out for one more minute, would have been half-time, would have been 39 points. Instead, it's 45 at the long break, and that's